Hey, I'm Connie.
And I'm Connie.
And we are Bad News Travels Fast. You see her roll her eyes at me? She just rolled her eyes at me. Did you see that?
Because she was talking junk before the camera started. And then she tried to smile like, oh, everything's all great. Yeah.
Please like, share, and subscribe. I've been messing with Connie all day today.
All day. Since I arrived.
Yes, I have been. I'm not going to lie about it. I quit now.
What are we talking about today?
What are we talking about?
Oh my gosh, didn't you say somebody said you something about
yeah. Okay, so I forgot that fast.
Help.
All right, so transgender restrooms in public schools and interaction in classes with other students. Just a thought. That was a suggestion from
a pastor.
Someone who... It was just a suggestion from someone.
I didn't say his name.
His title don't matter. But anyway, when I looked it up, I noticed that they passed a law in, hold on. They passed a law in, where did they pass a law? Virginia School Board's transgender, Okay, school transgender bathroom policy unconstitutional. Now, why did I think this was somewhere else? This is here in Virginia. Where I'm at.
I clearly see Richmond, Virginia right there.
Hilarious. I don't know why. I thought this was somewhere else. I think I was reading something else too. It's like you be reading so much stuff and then it just, all comes together. So, in August, a federal appeals court ruled Wednesday that a Virginia school board's transgender bathroom ban is unconstitutional and discriminated against a transgender male student who was barred from using the boys' bathroom in his high school. The ruling is a victory for transgender rights advocates and Gavin Grimm, a former student at Gloucester, high school, who was required to use restrooms that corresponded with his biological sex, female or private bathrooms. Okay, so transgender, we are referring to him as he, but he was born as a female.
Yes, and he was using the male restroom.
Right, okay, yes. All right, so this can be very confusing a bit if you don't know. Like I was looking up some of the stuff. This was like weeks ago. I was looking up some of the things about transgender, and then what are some other names? It's like there's queer, there's gay, there's lesbian, there's like a list of bisexual,
LGBTQ plus.
Yeah, well, the pluses. Mm-hmm. So I was looking up the pluses. I can't remember what they are at this moment, but so to me, to me, a woman who grew up learning that if you have a vagina, you are a female, and you are a woman, and you cannot change that in a sense. Okay, so I can't necessarily, now we have operations where you can change things, I think, right? And then you can dress the part and you can take hormones and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you want breasts or something. You just don't have fallopian tubes if you're a male and you're changing to a female. Right.
So there's a lot of different things that go into all the what I want to say, like the titles. There's like a lot of different things. So I think with all this coming up, this is what I would say to the LGBTQ plus people. Please be patient with us as we learn about you and all the different things, all the different rules. Like for instance, if I see a woman with breasts, let's just say she has breasts, because sometimes they'll wear something to smash them down or whatever. But let's say they're clearly visible, right? But she's dressed as a dude. So when I was growing up, you were just like
a tomboy,
a tomboy, or you could have been a lesbian. but you were still considered a female or a woman.
Mhm.
You were never the thought process of I want to identify as a man was not there. Like, you dressed like a man, you acted like a man, but you couldn't identify as a man, where I wouldn't be calling you him or, So me growing up in that, I now have to relearn what is being told to us now. So I think a lot of times there's an impatience there as far as, and I'm saying this as a Black woman, right? What do I mean by that? Racism has been around since forever, and we are taught as Black people to be patient, right? With people who are learning that you shouldn't be racist. So, many, let's say Caucasian, we'll just use Caucasian because I believe there's other races that can be racist, but let's say Caucasians. Many Caucasians are learning that it's not appropriate to be a racist, right? Or use the N-word or something other. We're allowing them to learn that this is inappropriate. So I feel like we should be allowed to learn that I need to call you and it's really preference, because you still meet those same people who just identify as gay or lesbian, and they might dress a certain way, but they're not identifying as a different gender.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked about, the question was about the school bathrooms. So these are my thoughts. And this could be wrong and this can be offensive. But my thoughts are, being a person who grew up and was molested by the opposite sex and also same sex, but mostly opposite sex, and also molested in a bathroom, I would definitely not appreciate my daughter in the bathroom with a male. I don't know if I'm saying that right?
Yeah, a male that may identify with the female gender.
Right. So my daughter, who has a vagina, I would not feel comfortable with her in the bathroom with someone with a penis. I'll just say that to make it easy. Okay. So because of my story, because of my history, I've always thought that this was a safety precaution, and back when I was younger, not very young, but there were times where children were raped in bathrooms, like public bathrooms. I remember, I think it was a boy who got raped in the bathroom in like Vegas or somewhere, like where there was it was like a casino or something like that. And so you have to be careful, and I feel like schools need to have transgender bathrooms. So just go to the transgender bathroom. You know how they have, but they're saying that this is unconstitutional, right? To have a separate bathroom for those who are transgender.
Right, because they said it was
I feel like it makes it easier for the transgender person. Just go to your own bathroom. Women go to their own bathroom, men go to their own bathroom, and now we have a new class of people. This new class of people go to your own bathroom.
Well, what is the own bathroom? Because I think the challenge comes in if you're transgender and you're a male and you're transgender and you're identifying with the female gender. Or if you're a male, right? Or if you're female and you're identifying with the male gender. You're saying those two bathrooms should be together.
No, what I'm saying is it would be a transgender bathroom, meaning there would be a toilet and a urinal in there.
Right.
So one person at a time is what I mean to say. Not like...
So it's like a private bathroom that nobody else is using.
Really like a private bathroom.
Multiple stalls and multiple urinals.
Right. So you would have your own private bathroom. I would have loved to grow up. I don't even understand how these kids is like fighting to be in bathrooms, because I would have loved to grow up in a one-person bathroom. But that's just me personally. You know, instead of being in there with all them people doing stuff to the toilets and all of that, I would have preferred to be in my own personal bathroom. But that's just my personal thoughts on the matter. But anyway,
Right. You know, and to pay caveat or angel's advocate, just like you said, like having the different bathrooms, you know, since we talked about racism initially, about being patient, at the same time, that was their reasoning for the black and white bathrooms. It's not a gender thing, but I'm saying just a difference, like having your own bathrooms. And I'm not saying I agree. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is the thing. I don't have a problem with black or white bathrooms if both of the bathrooms are the
clean,
same.
right? And they're
right. The issue is that black bathrooms were behind somewhere or dirty or they had a hole in the ground. I'm going to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the white bathroom, you got a whole toilet and a sink and some nice soap.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have had a problem with our bathrooms being separate. Black people over there, white people over there, as long as our bathrooms were lining up with quality. Right. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that I'm so... I'm not saying that I want to be separate. I love white people. I have them in my family. So I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that there was more that went into the separate bathrooms when it comes to race. If transgenders have their own bathroom, I feel like, because like I remember when, I don't know if you know Kaufman's, let's say Macy's. Let's say it was like a store like Macy's. Okay. They came out with the family bathroom. In some places, some malls have the family bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. Family bathroom. Because you can take your family in, but it's just you and your family. It's not.
And that's also because sometimes the mom is taking the son into the female bathroom because it's a boy. So creating the family restroom would give the freedom, and it wouldn't kind of ruffle anyone's feathers or make anybody feel uncomfortable that it was a boy in the female's bathroom. You do the family one. The family is for me and my son because we're family.
Right.
I think that was the kind of idea behind it.
I think that's awesome.
Right.
So I guess I would need to talk to a transgender person as to why they would be fighting to be in the bathrooms if they have access to their own bathroom.
Okay, so but they don't have that right now.
Well, no. The boy who this says that they're calling the transgender bathroom policy unconstitutional. What they were doing was, so with this person, they were telling her to go to the women's bathroom because she is a female.
Right. Okay.
So in another state, though, there was another transgender person. I don't remember which one that was, where they it was another transgender person where they fought to, I forget how it goes, but that school had their own transgender bathroom.
Look at that.
Is it this one? Okay, let's see. Hold on. A federal court in Florida has ruled that it is unconstitutional for schools to ban transgender students from using the restroom that matches their gender identity. Now, this is kind of the same thing.
Oh.
Judges are ruling on the matter because a public school may not punish its students for gender nonconformity. The case was centered around Drew Adams, a 19-year-old who is transgender, used the boys' restroom and did so without any issues until a report was made. Then after a report, he was told by the school officials that he would only be allowed to use the gender-neutral restrooms. Okay, so they had gender-neutral restrooms.
Right.
Meaning you can go to the restroom where whoever. You know what I mean?
Female, doesn't matter.
Right. So I guess I would need to have a conversation with this Drew Adams person. Like, why would you fight to be in the... I don't know if Drew was a man or a woman. I'm sorry.
I don't think it said.
Oh, okay. It didn't say. It just says transgender. So we're not sure if Drew is a woman or female.
No.
Who is transgender? Use the boys' bathroom.
Right. So
it's a girl.
Yeah, female.
Okay, so it's a female. She's identifying as a male, and she wanted to use the men's bathroom.
Right.
Okay, so I would want to have a conversation with her as to why she wasn't okay with using her own the transgender bathroom, where they are obviously okay with being around other sexes or other genders.
Yeah, maybe
The opposite.
Maybe
gender.
it felt like it was discriminatory. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they should have their own bathroom, but that could be offensive to someone. Yeah. I guess.
I have
but I would need to I wonder why though. Like, what's the offense? Is what I would be wondering.
Because it's like almost like you're not accepting me for who I identify with. You're only going by my gender of birth.
No, you're accepted. Go to your own bathroom over there.
Oh, so you're saying, like, why do they want to still go to the male bathroom that's only for males?
Right. When you can go to your own personal bathroom. Like, right. I don't get it.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. You're not accepting me as a male, which is what I'm identifying with if I go into the male restroom.
I got you.
Yes. So I need a separate bathroom for that.
You still have a vagina.
Yeah.
And them nasty boys in high school. I'm just saying. I mean, sorry. I didn't mean to say them nasty boys in high school. But anyway.
I think I share.
I don't know. It just poses a problem. Just, to me, it's like safety. I'm thinking safety reasons, even safety for her. Like, they often say that they're bullied and stuff like that. I mean, what if some dudes, like, try to molest her in the bathroom just on some bullying type stuff? You know what I mean? Like, that's not cool either. Like, I wouldn't be for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nobody's for bullying and abuse.
But some people don't care. Mm-hmm. And I feel like everybody gets bullied, not just transgender people. But if you see, like, there's opportunities for someone to be abused or to get bullied. But I guess they're saying they just want to fit in everywhere.
They want to be accepted for whatever gender they identify with. It makes me think
about the men who are winning, like, races because they're transgender. It's a man running in a woman's race. I mean, female, male.
Yeah.
I might be saying he's wrong, but yeah, a male is running in a female race and winning.
And then say more.
So, people are kind of outraged because we know that men are physically stronger and faster.
Also, okay.
And that's by design. That's not nothing that we just created right now in thought. Yeah. Men they're usually bigger. I mean, they're small men. Like, my son is very petite. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But how do you compete in, like, let's say, sports? Because you're saying you want to be a woman, you're still not a weaker vessel like a woman.
Yeah, I think it's a taboo. I think it's a catch-22 with anything, because that was the same thing when they had gender roles for women and women wanted to work, and it's like, oh no, women should stay home and they shouldn't do the same jobs that men should do, or they weren't paid the same amount. You see how it starts to become a discrimination issue.
Some things we need to discriminate.
Right. No, I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm just giving you the other side, because you're saying, like, I don't know, I don't understand. I'm like, that's when it comes into. So I think I share your concern, because I don't have kids yet, and so I have nieces and nephews, and I would feel uncomfortable for somebody who identifies as a female but has a penis in the same bathroom with my niece.
Right.
I would have a concern about that.
Right.
It would make me feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
And we are not saying
that you guys are going to be raping or
that transgender people are molesters.
Right.
The issue is you don't know who's a rapist and a molester. That's number one. Male, female. Most of us were molested by people who accepted their what God gave them. You know what I'm saying? By a male or female or whatever the case. So we're not saying that transgender people are people who are more susceptible to that. We're saying that if you even do the statistics and the research, what is it, like 8 out of 10 girls now are molested?
It's like 1 in 3.
It's 1 in 3?
1 in 3, 1 in 4.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost like it's becoming a norm. It's like 1 in 3. It's a
So
lot.
that you would
And it increases for African Americans.
Right. So there is a concern there.
Yeah, and that's my concern with it. Now, I've worked with a client who was, I think she was a female, and she identified with a male. So when I went to see her as my client, I called her he, because that's what she or he wanted to be identified with.
Right. I get that part. Like, whatever. I mean, I don't mean to say whatever, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be called a male or if you want to be called a female, that's fine. But we're talking about you're taking your pants off in the same room with someone, with a male is taking their pants down and a woman is taking their pants down in the same room. And I think that's just the issue. Whether you identify with male or female, you still have the sexual organs of what it is that you don't want to be.
Right. And like I said, it brings a concern when you have two genders in the same bathroom because of their parts, and it doesn't make people it doesn't make people feel comfortable or safe.
Yeah, right.
And so I think that's the major concern.
But even too, I think, I don't know who, like the first story, I guess it was fine until somebody said something.
Right. Somebody was uncomfortable to made an anonymous.
Somebody was uncomfortable.
Anonymous calls about it.
Right. I don't know. I would be happy with my own bathroom, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I like if I'm in a public place, like in the bathroom, and if I'm like at the hospital or something, and they have like a bathroom for one person, I go in that one.
Yes.
I don't go in the one with everybody else.
Absolutely.
I do.
Yeah. But that's a whole nother debate, I guess.
That's
okay. Well, I guess that was that. I don't know if we talked about that. It wasn't really
a question. It was just like maybe a topic to discuss.
Oh, yeah. And he said something about in class. I guess it can be a little weird for in classes with other students. So I guess it can be an adjustment. You know what I mean? If someone comes into class and you clearly know them as a male or you clearly know them as a female, and they are now wanting to be called the opposite of that, you know what I mean? I know it can be a little bit weird, but I think it's up to, I think you kind of have to, you could go with the flow. Like, for instance, I think my son last year said he had a transgender in his room, but he didn't even know the person was transgender until they had to write this paper or something like that. And in the paper, I think he thought the girl was a dude initially. And then with the paper that the transgender wrote, it talked about, I guess, her transitioning or something or other. And he was like, I ain't even know. You know what I mean? So I think that there's times when there are places, communities, where it's going to be fine and nobody's going to say a word and nobody's really going to care. Like, whatever. And then there's places where you're going to go to that school and that's going to be a whole problem. You know what I mean? So in those schools, it's up for the staff to, I would say, talk to the transgender child and say, can we have a discussion about this in class? What is it that you are requiring? What transgender means? Because sometimes it's just lack of information, right? And then we can adjust to, yes, we know that this was Harry last year, but this is Harrietta this year. I mean, I was just saying.
Okay.
This is what we're gonna do, and we're not gonna, we're not gonna have any fuss about this. We're here to learn, and so I'm teaching social studies. That's what we're gonna focus on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear no bullying, and I don't want to hear about him when you should be referring to him as her and all of that stuff. Just don't refer if you are having an issue with it.
Use like a gender neutral term like they or something
they,
like
them.
That.
Yeah, but sometimes they'll be offended by that. Because I saw a video where the transgender person was offended. But the person who was using the words was like, I couldn't remember what you said you wanted to be called. So they kept saying they or them and they were offended. Like I said blah blah blah. They're like, oh, okay, I just couldn't remember, and I didn't want to offend you by calling you what you told me not to call you. You know what I mean? So I think, like I said, they need to be patient as we are learning new things about this whole situation. Okay. I guess we'll leave it at that, I guess. We didn't go the Christian route on this one because I think that in the natural, whether you are a Christian or not, we are supposed to show the love of Christ.
Correct.
Right? And so in that, we have not been called to
judge.
Not just that. We have not, how the Bible says, cry loud and spare not. We decide what we're going to cry loud about. Mm-hmm. And so what is God telling you to cry loud about? Is he saying for you to cry loud about gays, transgenders, lesbians? Is he really saying that? Or is that you in your flesh? Because if you're crying loud about something, right, you're aggressive about it, how are you going to win them? You know what I'm saying? First things first. If you see somebody that you are around or whatever, they may be thinking about transitioning, or you can tell they're transitioning, whatever, man, just pray for them. And pray for opportunity to minister. Pray for them to come to you asking questions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I think when we dislike something, it's hard for us sometimes to identify or to minister to that person. And I think a lot of things that we do, we try to correct people we have not yet identified or created a relationship with. Don't come to me, you don't know me, telling me everything I'm doing wrong. Right. When you have no idea what's going on. Right. You don't really know. And so I think that we do a disservice to somebody. When you talk to somebody, you find out the root of things, because a lot of times what we're praying about is a behavior and not the root that's causing the behavior.
Right.
So we're missing it. Right. If we get rid of the root in the ground, the tree won't grow. But we keep cutting the tree down up here, it'll keep growing.
And we talked about molestation and rape, and not saying all transgenders that's happening to, but let's say there's a deeper issue of, there was a lady, I was watching a video of a lady giving her testimony about how her brother would have she was in middle school. Okay. Her brother would bring the high school boys over, and they would run a train on her.
The brother knew?
The brother brought them to the house.
Train on her? No, they didn't.
And would let them all have sex with her and stuff like that. So when she grew up, she didn't think she had like a hatred for men, but she went towards, okay, I'm going to be a lesbian because men are not safe.
And they're taking advantage of me. They abused me. I said no and stop, and they continued, right? Yeah, all of those things.
And so she's still, saying that she is a lesbian. But now she's getting to the roots of everything and actually dealing with those things. And on top of that, I would say the LGBTQ community or whatever, they're not happy with how she's going through her process. No. Because they want her to just, basically to disconnect the lesbianism from
the
rape. But to her, her experience, that it's all connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a hard thing. We don't know what people are going through. It's best that you pray first and then get to know people.
Right. Because God will give you opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have been fortunate enough, and God has trusted me enough. I have been able to mentor people who were lesbians, right? And I'm like, I don't believe this is right. So why did you want me to mentor you? And they're like, well, you can learn something from anybody, but I don't judge them. Every time I see them, I don't say, hey, you're in sin. This is wrong. You're going to hell. Like, I don't.
Oh, right.
That's not our conversation.
Who does that anyway? It doesn't make sense. Right. You want to know why?
Right.
Because if I have 3 babies and no husband, I'm just saying, if I got 3 babies and no husband, then you should be saying the same thing to me. Right. Girl, you going to hell with them 3 babies. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we pick and choose.
Right, and we talked about that because we talked about it being a greatest sin. But my thing is, I talk to them for who they are. I ask questions, and if they're in a relationship, I ask about their significant other, even if it's the same gender, right? Because I am building a relationship. I'm talking to with them. But if something happens and they need prayer and something's going on, guess what? I'm a safe person to call.
That's right.
So God has given me an opportunity to be a light and to minister to people because I'm not judging them because I don't have a heaven and a hell to put you in.
Right.
Right. And you know what I'm saying? So it's just like we have to first build relationships so people get to know people. And like I said, one of the situations I have a mentee like that, similar situation. The males in her life, they try to rape and molest her. They've been all negative. So she is upset with the whole male gender.
Right.
So before we can even talk about, because she's like, I know what's wrong. This is not how I want to be. But she has to get over that hurt that she experienced
that
growing
trauma.
up.
Yeah.
Right. Before anything could happen. So if you're over here just talking about the fact that they are liking the same sex, you have missed the mark because it has nothing to do with that. Like that lady is saying is connected. Now, is everybody who likes the same sex had that type of trauma? No. Right. But for them, it's that thing. So if we are not discerning or we are just, whatever we are and how we're judging or what, I don't know the word for it is, we miss the opportunity to minister and to love onto somebody because Jesus hung out with the sinners.
Yeah.
Why is he at their house? Like, why is he with them? And so if the heart of God is love, why are we missing that in loving people? It's God's love that keeps me every day.
Right.
And so I think that is a balance because you mentioned we didn't go to Christian route initially, but we also have to think about that. Nobody's condoning or saying what is right and wrong or we agree or disagree, but I still love you as a person and I can still minister to you if given the opportunity, if you want to hear it, right? Because to do it, to continue to tell somebody not to do something really turns them off against God sometimes.
And to get to know someone, I think we often look on the outward appearance and we think we know people. And that is just what I'm portraying to you. So
that is a mask that I'm showing you.
If you get to know me, you'll find out that I like the warmth outside. I like it to be warm rather than cold.
I do.
When it's a warm day, I feel so much better. I'm like,
oh, I like spring and summer.
Thank you, Father, for the warmth.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
That's contagious.
But you're getting to know me by finding out my likes and my dislikes and how I flow, what upsets me, what makes me laugh. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to get to getting to know people. And just because you get to know them doesn't mean that you are accepting of their behavior.
Correct.
The issue is we don't seem to have a problem with anyone else. We don't say, if you're at work with, let's say you're at work with a young lady who has 3 kids and no husband, right? No one is going to be mad at you for befriending her. Because for what? But we'll say things like, if you're befriending this homosexual, you're telling them you're accepting of their behavior. Why aren't we the same with everybody? You know what I mean? And so, in some sins are visible, and some sins are not. Once you get to know someone, you can find out where their sins lie. You know what I mean?
Because we all have them.
Yes. Amen. So anyway.
All right. So our Black History facts.
Alrighty. What you got for us?
All right. Let me get to it. Oh, shoot.
I had to do the same thing. It dropped off.
Yes.
It should be right down.
Okay. Oh, no, that's the picture. Okay. So this is about Henrietta Lacks. It's the greatest contributor to scientific progress and advances in human health. Her cells that were taken without her knowledge or her permission were discovered to be fast-growing and immortal, which allowed scientists to successfully keep cell lines alive, study their behavior, and jumpstart research. HeLa cells have made the following possible over the last 65 years. Development of virology, the vaccination of polio, determination of the number of chromosomes necessary for cancer research, study the effects of radiation, effects of deep sea pressure, cosmetic and pharmaceutical testing, replacing lab animals, research on HIV and treatment for aging, research and determining the HPV virus causes, anti-cancer treatment, anti-tumor medication, hemophilia, tuberculosis cells, undergone nuclear testing, made cell isolation possible, which is used for cloning and in vitro fertilization. So her cells have like sparked the scientific research. They stopped using animals and realized this is how the cancer research is done. HPV, AIDS, all of this stuff from this person's cell. And this was in 1951. Henrietta Lacks, an African-American woman. Oh, wait, it says something else.
Read it.
Oh, scientists have grown around 20 tons of these HeLa cells, and they're involved in almost 11,000 patients.
Yep.
So the lives that are being saved and changed, and the research that's coming forth, and their ability to be able to cure people or find cures and vaccinations started from Henrietta, African-American woman who unknowingly donated to research.
I know, right?
Right. Thanks, guys.
What's that?
I don't know.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, thank you so much.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe.
Follow us on
Instagram
and Facebook.
Facebook.
Till next time.
All right. Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.